Hey Morbid Maniacs. So I just wanted to start off December's videos by apologizing to you guys for not posting anything these past few weeks. I kind of had an incident where one of my cats passed away, and if you follow me on any of my social media accounts outside of YouTube, you would have seen that already. If you're not following me already on all of those, all of the accounts are in the description box below. This kind of led me into a depressed state. Come on. Sorry, one of my cats is hopping in my lap. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Oop. There he is. I didn't really feel like doing very much, including posting on my channel. And I had all of my videos planned out for the month of November. So all of those videos will still be uploaded. It's just I needed some time away, and I've just been trying to grieve and process everything that's happened. Just kind of take it easy on myself pretty much. So I hope you guys can forgive me for that. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit of a, I guess, paranormal story time. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to say that I'm not making up anything that I tell you guys that I've witnessed or seen. Everything that I tell you is the 100% truth, so you can take that as you will. I've always been told by my dad, by other people, that I'm a very spiritually gifted person. Meaning that I can, I guess, pick up on certain things. I can see certain things that other people can't see. I'm more open to like the spiritual side of things. I've also been told before that I am a baby witch. Starting out, I got these cats from my aunt. Someone had dropped off a pregnant cat at my aunt's house, and we found out about this right after my cat Midnight passed away. And we were like, okay, we gave it a good couple of months before we decided we were going to get another, and we were hoping for another black cat, and I was also speaking of getting an orange cat. And it just so happened that this pregnant cat was a calico cat, and she ended up having one black cat and one orange cat. So it was just perfect. It was like it was meant to be. So we started going up there, visiting them while they were still being weaned from their mom, and eventually we were only going to take Wubsy at first, which is my black one, but then we decided on taking Cuddles too, which was my orange one. And then we ended up just taking them both home, and they became a part of my family. I grew so attached to them. I don't know what it is, you guys. Like, I've always been an animal lover. I've always felt connected to animals, and cats especially. Like, I've always had cats in my life. Ever since I was about 6 or 7 years old. I've had a cat ever since then in my life. I've never not had one. I just love animals, and I'm definitely a cat person. I love cats, you guys know this. But for some reason, I've felt connected to all of my cats, and you guys know I've made videos in the past about seeing spirits of some of my cats that have passed away. I felt connected to all of my cats, but for some reason with Wubsy, it was like we had this connection that I can't quite describe. Anytime I was upset, anytime I was going through something, he would be right there. Every night I'd get off work, he'd be right there wanting me to pet him. Even when I wasn't always paying attention to him, or I was busy doing something else, he was there. He wanted me to pet him, and you know, he always wanted my attention. He loved me so much. He spent every second of his little life wanting my attention, making sure that I knew that he loved me. I loved him so much, you guys. Like, he and all of my cats are my entire world. And the thing is, with the other cats that I had that passed away, they were all sick. Like, Midnight had cancer, Tigger had cancer, Ella had cancer, Booger was just in a very weak state, and she couldn't go through having surgery. She had pyometra because they were scared they were going to lose her on the operating table. So all of those cats I still had a little bit more time with before I had to take them and put them down. Which, if you have an opinion about that, it's okay. You're entitled to that opinion, but I believe in not letting my animals suffer, especially if I know they're going through a great deal of pain. I don't want to sit there and watch them suffer to the point that they pass away. I'd rather just put them at peace again. You know, as hard as it is, that's what I believe. But anyways, with them, I had time to prepare. With Wubsy, it was like it all happened so unexpectedly. He was only 7. For a cat, to me, that's very young, because I have a cat that I've had since I was 11. She's 15 now. I just feel like he had so much life to live, and he was just taken so quickly. So there was an incident last year where, you know, my dad had woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He came running to my door. This was when he was still living with me. And he said, you know, there's something wrong with Wubsy. There's something wrong with Wubsy. He had brought him to my room, laid him on my bed, and Wubsy was almost like paralyzed. He was kind of like making this, and he wasn't like there, like he wasn't having any reaction. His eyes were all dilated and everything. There was just something wrong with him. So we freaked out, and I ended up calling my boyfriend. We ended up taking him to the vet, which we didn't really get to do blood work on him at that time, unfortunately, because we didn't have the money for it. And if you have a pet, then you probably already know vet bills are very expensive. And unfortunately at the time we didn't have the money to do blood work. So what we thought happened was that somehow he had gotten a hold of one of my stepmom's pills, which she had accidentally dropped on the floor, and he had swallowed it, and it had made him like that. That's what we had thought. So the vet went ahead and gave him some fluids to kind of wash all that out of his system, and she said it would make him feel better. So, you know, the day passed by, and it seemed like he was getting better, and it seemed like after that he went for like a whole year, almost 2, with not having any more issues. So there's your warning, fam. If one of your pets seems to be acting up and you take them to the vet and it seems like whatever they give them or whatever works and they seem like they're fine, to still go and get checkups, because you never know, honestly. Like, we're not in their body, they can't speak to us. We don't know fully when something's wrong. I know vet bills are expensive, and honestly I wish they weren't. It's so unfortunate, but honestly that's one thing that I do wish that I had done, was took him to get a checkup after all that had happened. So everything was fine up until a couple of weeks ago, the week of Thanksgiving, the week right before Thanksgiving, on a Sunday, of course, when everything's closed. You know, the day started out exactly the same. I woke up, and every morning when I would wake up, Wubsy would be standing there on the bar or on the couch looking over, and where I had my bed, which I moved everything around, where I had my bed, I'd just see his little black silhouette of him standing, and he'd be looking over the bed at me, waiting for me to get up and go pet him. And he'd sit there and make this little meow, like, ew. This morning started off like any other morning. I seen him on the couch, he was looking over at me, I was on my phone, and honestly, I think, and I'm just being honest, I think I spent a lot more time on my phone than what I should have. Like, I definitely wish that I would have spent more time with him, because I thought I had more time. Like, I wasn't expecting anything to happen. So I got up, I went and I fed them their food. He ate, and then I'm getting ready to go take a shower. And as I'm walking by our spare bedroom, I see Wubsy. I see like his butt and his tail and his back legs, like around the corner, like he's getting ready to go in the litter box and use it. So I didn't think anything of it. And I'm standing in the bathroom, and this is really hard for me to talk about. Standing in the bathroom, and I keep hearing like this wheezing sound. And I'm sitting there combing my hair, and I thought nothing of it at first. I thought he was just using the litter box, you know. And I kept hearing the sound, so eventually I kind of realized, like, hey, something's wrong. That doesn't sound right. And I walked into the room, and here's Wubsy laying on the floor with his head leaning up against the litter box, and he had litter on his paws, like he had been in the litter box or like he was trying to use it. My heart sank, and I I ran into the living room. I woke my boyfriend up. I'm like, hey, something's wrong with Wubsy. He comes in there and he's like, oh my god, because Wubsy was barely moving at this point. I'm sorry, you guys. Trigger warning. I'm going to put a trigger warning in here. This is really hard for anyone who might have a pet or who has lost one. He comes in there and Wubsy's not moving. And he's like, I think he's dead, babe. And he starts tearing up and he's just holding me. And then Wubsy kind of takes like one last deep breath right in front of me. Now it's hard for me because, like I said, I felt so connected to him. I was so attached to him. Like, he was my everything. They're all my everything. And I wasn't expecting it to happen. So I didn't know what to do at this point. I didn't know whether I should move him. I was scared I was going to hurt him. I would have done CPR, but I don't know how to do CPR, let alone on a cat. I was scared I was going to make it worse. So I just called my dad and I'm like, hey, something's wrong with Wubsy. I'm crying. I'm like, something's wrong with Wubsy. You got to get home. And he said he's on his way home and he gets here. And by the time he got here, it was probably like 2 hours later. Wubsy was gone. He was completely gone. I still don't fully know what happened, what killed him. We ended up taking him to a pet crematory, which is close by, which thankfully we got a hold of someone because it was on a Sunday and I didn't want to just like leave him there. But it was just so much for me to process because it's like 1 minute he was okay, 5 minutes later he's on the floor, he's not breathing. It just came and it happened so fast and I couldn't really process it or, you know, just take it in, what had actually just happened. Where it was the week of Thanksgiving, unfortunately it took like almost 2 weeks to get him back, but we did finally get him back. This is Wubsy over here, this is his urn. I'll like show pictures and everything for you guys. I like to get my cats cremated when they pass just because I don't, like if I ever decided that I wanted to move away, I can take them with me, you know, even though I know that they're not in that physical form, in that body anymore, I still want to be able to take them with me. Yeah. So here's where everything starts. I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend and you guys, I'm telling you, this sent me into a depression. Like, I didn't even want to be in my own house. Just being in here reminded me of him because every time I'd sit down on the couch or every time I'd be doing something, he'd be in the floor looking at me, meowing, wanting my attention. Like I said, he spent every second of his little life just making sure that I knew that he loved me. Pets are honestly a gift that we do not deserve sometimes. But I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend and I was just very like distraught, thinking of everything and talking to him, and I looked over and the spot on the couch that he used to stand in, he was sitting and he was like aimed my way and he had a big smile on his face. I've seen him so much since this happened. It's almost like after this happened, my third eye opened up so much more, and not only am I seeing him, but I'm seeing all my cats again that have passed away. I'm seeing like orbs, I'm seeing figures more. Like, it opened up my third eye so much more since this happened, and I'm starting to see more spirits and stuff now. Now, like I said, you guys can take this as you want, but I'm telling the truth, and I would not lie or make up any of this stuff. I have no reason to. But the next day, I woke up on the bed, and me and my boyfriend moved everything around because, like I said, I was depressed. I didn't even want to be in my own house. The sunlight was shining through the window, and on the bar, there was Wubsy, standing there looking at me. His eyes were all bright and yellow, and he had the biggest grin on his face. Like, he was so happy. Just saying this is making me kind of emotional. And then there was one night, okay, we wrapped him up in his favorite blanket, which is this like light blue kind of like teal blanket that he used to lay on all the time and sleep. We wrapped him up in that blanket whenever he first passed away and put him on the bed because we were trying to figure out what to do. We didn't want to just like leave him on the floor, you know? So I kept that blanket and I said, I'm not going to ever wash this blanket again. I'm going to keep it with me, and whenever I need to be comforted or whenever I'm missing him, I'm just going to hold on to that blanket. So one night I was sleeping, I was holding on to his blanket. Every time I think about it, and even now, every time I think about it, my heart just breaks all over again. But Wubsy was a cuddle bug, okay? To anyone out there who says that black cats are bad luck, obviously you've never even owned one or know much about cats to know anything. Because every black cat that I've had, and I've only had 2, but every black cat that I have encountered has been an absolute sweetheart. They've brought me nothing but good luck and happiness. But Wubsy was the sweetest cat that I have ever owned, and I honestly mean that. Like, he did not have a mean bone in his body. Whenever he caught a mouse, he would drop it and let it go. He would not kill it. But he loved to cuddle with me. Ever since he was a kitten, he would lay down beside me, let me pet him, put my arm around him. He was just the cutest. He was a big baby. This night, I was missing him. I was holding his blanket, wrapping it up in my arms, and I kind of just barely opened my eyes and kind of just seen a faint glimpse of him laying beside me like he used to do. And then there was one night I was really feeling it, like I was really feeling depressed. Guys, it's only been like 2 weeks as I'm filming this that this has happened. So I'm still trying to recover from it. I had all the lights turned off, I was getting ready to go to bed, and I seen him over the edge of the bed kind of like looking up at me. What makes it so distinct that it's him is the yellow eyes staring at me. But I seen him over the edge of the bed, and it was almost as if I could see him moving closer to me. Like, after that happened, I seen him on the bed laying beside me, and a couple minutes later, out of the corner of my eye, I see him close to me. Like, I see his face, like, really close to me. Almost as if he was trying to comfort me. The morning that my dad went to go pick up his ashes when they were ready, I had woke up really early on this morning, and my dad has always talked to me about skyring in my crystal ball. So this morning I woke up and I was trying really hard to just concentrate on the crystal ball, and I had swore that I had seen a lady that almost looked like me, with long dirty blonde hair and a white gown, and it almost looked as if she were kissing someone or something. And then I had kind of like fell back asleep, opened my eyes back up, and there, clear as day, was Wubsy in the crystal ball. I seen his face, I seen his bright yellow eyes. I was sitting at the vanity combing my hair, and all of my cats were asleep. I'm gonna note this. Now I only have 3 cats. So the orange one was under the bed, Rocco was on the bed, they were both asleep, and Dutchie was laying on the couch next to my boyfriend, just laying there chilling, not doing anything. I was combing my hair in my vanity, and all of a sudden I hear the faintest like he used to do. Like, he'd make that noise or he'd meow at me when he wanted my attention. And I looked around because I thought, you know, maybe it's one of my other cats. No, they were all asleep. It wasn't them. And I've heard his meow several times since then, I'd just like to note. Hell, I even heard it today and all my cats were asleep. One night I was sitting on the floor on the vent trying to get warm because it's been really cold recently. And I had the bathroom light on because I was sitting in the bathroom floor because that's where we get most of our heat or whatever. I kind of like glanced over, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought I had seen him standing there beside me. Now you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I don't really care. I've always felt connected to animals. I honestly kind of feel as though Wubsy might have been my familiar. Like, And if you don't know what that is, definitely go and Google it, do your research on it. I feel like I've known him in another life. I feel like I signed some sort of soul contract with him. I feel like he was like one of my soulmates in an animal form. And then one night I was talking to Sabrina, or she had sent me this picture that someone had posted on Twitter, and it was of a little black cat, looked just like my Wubsy, and it had a heart made out of leaves behind it on the porch. And the cat was looking up, and the caption on the photo was, "I love you." There was one night, I think the same night, I forgot to say this, but I think the same night that he had passed away, there was a commercial on the TV, and it was of this song, and you know, I'm totally gonna butcher it. I can't remember the tune of it or anything, but it was literally just going, "I love you, I love you," like that. And I felt like that was Wubsy letting me know that he still loves me. And I've gotten several like little "I love you" signs here and there since then. My favorite song is "Yellow" by Coldplay, and that's been one of my favorite songs for a while now, for many reasons, because every time I have like a life-changing moment in my life, or I'm going through something, somewhere, some way, that song comes on, and it's always at like the right time. And I heard this song one night when I was sitting in the room with my boyfriend Josh, and I never noticed it before, but I heard the part where it's like, you know I love you so, you know I love you so. And I felt like that was him speaking to me. I felt connected to it, you know. My boyfriend was also looking at like clothes and necklaces and stuff that night. There was a black cat necklace that said "I love you forever" or "eternal love" or something like that. And then my dad has also heard Wubsy a few times over in his house. He lives next door. He doesn't even live over here anymore. But he was also close to Wubsy, and it was also his cat. And I feel like Wubsy's also showing him as well that, you know, he's with him and not to worry. Then the other night, I actually, just like yesterday, I think, I had a dream, and I can't fully remember what exactly happened in this dream, but I had a dream, and it was Wubsy standing in front of a big giant rainbow. Like, it was a huge rainbow right behind him. I feel like that was him, you know, telling me that he had made it to what they like to call the Rainbow Bridge. Then I also had a few incidents. Like I said, I've seen him so many times. Like, I see them on a daily basis. It's almost as if they never even passed away. There was one night that I had heard the little sound that he used to make, and I was sitting on the couch, and I kind of glanced over, and I seen his little black silhouette sitting in the floor. And then just last night, my dad had sent me a song, and it was about missing someone who had gone away. And once again, I seen him in the floor staring at me. I know that he's with me. It is kind of comforting, and it's putting my mind a little bit at ease knowing that when we die here and we're not in our physical forms anymore, we still live on, you know. And once again, if you have a different opinion than me, I don't even know what you're doing on my channel, because this is a paranormal channel, but that's fine. But I truly believe, and always will believe, that there is an afterlife. Once you leave here, that's not the end. Because I've also experienced so much. So much for me to just shrug it off and be like, oh, it's something logical, you know, like, just so much has happened for me to think that way. I'm grateful that he has came back to me, and that he is trying to show me that he's still here and that I don't need to worry anymore. It's still hard. I mean, some days I wake up or I think about him, and like I said, my heart breaks all over again. And I wish he was here, and I wish I could pet him or kiss him or hug him or just have one more minute with him, you know? It's just really sad, but I think that everything happens for a reason. Whether we know what that reason is or not, I think everything does. And I feel like he might have been on borrowed time, you know, like I feel like he was like a little angel that was placed into my life to teach me something, or to, you know, be there for me when I needed someone. And then once he had completed what he was set out on this earth to do, it was his time to go. So it's sad, but I know that he's no longer in pain, he's no longer suffering anymore, and that's all that really matters. But I just wanted to say, guys, if you have a pet, and, you know, even if you're in the middle of doing something, it does not matter. Whatever it is, it can wait. You do not know when their last day is going to be. Not just pets, but like people in your life. You do not know when that last day is going to be. You should never take it for granted. You should always appreciate every second with them, because life's too short. Miss that. You'll wish that you had spent more time with them. So whatever it is, it does not matter. Put it down. It can wait. Pay attention to them. Show them that you love them. Hug them, kiss them, pet them. Take them for walks if you've got a puppy. You know, like, just show them attention. You're all that they have, okay? And they trust you. They love you so much. But there's my little story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm back. I'm gonna get back into posting. I don't think Wubsy would have wanted me to stop or give up on the things that I love and enjoy. But I love you guys. Please send all of your good vibes my way. I definitely need it. I'm still trying to recover and heal from this, as I said before. But yeah, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up in honor of Wub Wub, which is what I used to call him. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and become Morbid Maniac. And yeah, be sure to hit that bell notification. That way you get notified every single time I upload or post a new video. And I love you guys. I'm so sorry I've been gone, but I'm happy to be back. And I'll see you in my next one.